So onto some more trickier topics, more sensitive topics. Some kids we know have got challenges or disorders, and they have legitimate reasons for not going.
Like, for example, if there's no public transport for them to get to school, and no parent to drop them off, how can they get to school?
I can talk around what we do at Te Kumanoa Rally, but it's a matter of talking to your school, and that we have a school van that will go out and pick children up. So we're picking up upwards of between 10 and 20 children at the moment today. There's one boy that we've got at the moment. He was used to going to his old school in a van, and so now it's easier for us to pick him up, even though he lives just around the corner. But it makes it easier for everybody. We've just started picking up another couple of boys that were struggling, and they jumped into the van this morning and they were just smiling. They think it's great fun because sometimes I pick them up or someone else picks them up, and it's just a fun way of getting them. So talk to the school. There are ways that they can work, and we use, I've actually got a van that picks up and a couple of teacher aides that on their way in pick kids up as well. So there are avenues around that can use to support.
Yeah. And I think too, making sure if your school is aware whether there's like a Facebook group that your parents are on, so you can pop a Facebook message just to let them know that, hey, you know, you might be struggling to get your child to school, can someone support? You might have people that live in your community that also go to the same school, so definitely reach out on whether it's social media, your school newsletter, anything like that, just to take some of that pressure off. And yeah, definitely recommend talking to school. And
this is another one too, where attendance is a community issue. So if people don't know that your child needs a ride to school, right? Talk to the neighbors, talk to the school, let people know, and people will pull together and support in that space. So
lots of schools have walking buses, so the kids can join in with them, and there are a couple of parents that will help that. So again, just put that information out, and there will be someone that can help.
We're lucky too that within the city, I would say most schools for most kids are walkable, bikeable, scootable in most instances, right? Some of the further areas in Selwyn and North Canterbury that we cover, if it's too far out, buses will run within space of those places. So, but just talk to schools, talk to the community, and there's always going to be an option and an answer with transport.
On a related note, you spoke about the tummy bug example. What if a child is having severe anxiety? And that's a big one, because that's not a just suck it up kind of conversation, because you want to try and support your child. What's a way to deal with that, or to encourage them to go to school? And is that a valid reason not to go to school?
Again, you need to talk to the school. And we do have a number of children with anxiety, but when they come and talk to the school, we've set up things to help the children. So, example, on Monday mornings we have a Lego club where they go and do Lego therapy, have some breakfast with one of the teacher aides, and it's our children that we know that on Monday mornings, first day back at school, struggle. And there's about 10 kids in this little club, and they love coming to school now. They want to be there on Monday morning. So we've set something up to make that happen. My office quite often has 10, 15 kids in it, and it's kids that do have that anxiety, that have a safe zone. Most schools have a safe zone, and Te Kumanoa Rally, the safe zone's my office, where I work with my DP, so there's two of us in there working, but they will set things up. So talk to your school and come up with a plan. And as a parent, you're the expert, so go in and tell them what your child likes and what is the part that helps them. And then we can try and put those things in place.
With anxiety too, we see this very, very commonly, and I don't think keeping a child at home helps necessarily. And you're also looking at diagnosed anxiety versus like perception of anxiety, right? And being anxious is part of life and growing up, especially in the intermediate and the secondary years. So it's okay to feel anxious and to have those feelings, but it's like, what do you do with it, right? And there are going to be the very few cases that would actually like medically need to stay home for anxiety. So I think to build resilience in kids is key, and supporting them to go to school is going to be the best way forward. And it's probably going to be difficult a little bit of time to get them through the door. But once you do, and they do build that resilience, and that anxiety slowly ebbs because they realize they can do it, that's really empowering. and that's powerful for the family and for the child.
Yeah, and I think it goes back as well, like talking to school to see what other resources they have available to them. There's obviously Manaaki, for example. They can do support with the individual and as well as the whānau. So if mum's struggling to get her child to school or understand what anxiety is, there's resources that can go home to the family as well to support when the child's feeling anxious, just to encourage them to attend school. But yeah, definitely work alongside the school for anything like that,
One more on this too with anxiety for parents to know, and I think this is really crucial. We've kind of been on a campaign the past couple weeks to get people outside of our services to refer children to outside agencies for help and support. So you have Manaake, which is in school. Outside of school, you have Manu Karere, which is a really easy, fast online referral that anybody can do. Graham could do it as a principal. You could do it as a parent. We can do it as an attendance service.
13 to 24.
Yep, 13 to 24.
There's space available because that's a big thing in Christchurch right now is that parents are struggling with the wait times and there's no help available. And Manaaki, I think, had only limited spots. And is that a resource that
Yes, we just got done with a pastoral care conference on Friday, and they have space right now, which is awesome. Another one, if there is not space, is Tatahi Youth. And Tatahi Youth has drop-in clinics on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in town, and then on Mondays at the Aranui Center. And you can drop in with your child from 2:30 to 4:30 Monday to Wednesday, or 10 to 12:30 on Friday, and you can see a mental health nurse on the spot and just get at least a bit of an understanding of what's going on, and then get in the wait list for possible mentorship. So those kind of things are out there for parents to use, and it'd be awesome to see more people refer to them, just because they can really, really help get back into school and keep those attendance numbers going forward.
Again, communicating with the school helps because with the Manaaki, yes, there is a wait list, but sometimes if we've got a group of parents, then we can go to Manaaki and go, we've got a group. And so then there's a group referral that can go through that they can work with, and then that will get it a lot faster than you as a parent trying to wait for the services. So we can do things to help support, but it's that communicating with the school, and then we can help. The other thing that just really need to reinforce is that if a child does have that anxiety and you keep them at home, it builds, and it goes back to what we're talking. Then they then are worried about, well, if I go, I'm not going to know about that thing in maths or reading or writing. So it builds that anxiety. And will my friends want to talk to me because they haven't seen me for 3 days now? So it builds that anxiety. So the regular attendance can help stop that. And there are things to support that we can put in place to make sure an anxious child can get there.
So following on with the anxiety, is there any resources out there to tell parents what is also normal? My child is 7 and she's sort of showing more signs of anxiety at the moment, and I don't know if that's because of specific things or if that's quite a normal thing for a 7-year-old, a 7-year-old girl, a 7-year-old. How do we find support with that?
Sure. There's a great answer for that, and it's the Listening to Families anxiety video that was just recently done, so you can find that on the Listening to Families homepage.
They also have videos as well regarding Manaaki and Manu Karere, so definitely refer to the videos.
There are a lot of good resources out there, so it is just use those.
And the Senkos at the school is also really good to talk to, I found.
Yeah, definitely.
And so perhaps schools could be advertising that for those parents that aren't aware to ask for help necessarily or aren't comfortable coming in.
Absolutely.